Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the video. You guys asked for it, so here I am. I'm back again. I'm going to actually cover BAPs. We're going to go ahead and do this. I think it's going to be fun to actually see how long this series actually stays on the television channel. Let's see if we can make it through the season. Let's just do that. But this is what we're doing, guys. BAPs, Season 1, Episode 2, or as I call it, Bitches Acting Positively Stupid, which is what this show is. Ridiculous. We go right back in. They're at this party where Anisha has actually just spit in Kristen's face. And, oh, child, every time I say it, it just goes all through me. She fucking spit in her face. Anyway, I am still here. Now, this is from one episode to the next. I'm still waiting on the fight to break out. It hasn't broken out yet. So they're like bickering back and forth again, you know, doing what they do. And Kristen's giving, someone call 911. Someone call 911. This is just ridiculous. Call 911. Get up out of here. It's ridiculous. Kendrick starts to get involved. He's asking questions. Can you tell me a time when she did something that you thought she was a bad mother other than feeding the baby Doritos for breakfast? And Chris is like, isn't that enough? And why are you talking to me? And she's giving, real disrespectful. Or what are you, like, Chris said, oh, you need a mouthpiece now? You know, and I'm like, ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I'm like, this is just crazy. So he's going on and they're back and forth. And she tells him, Kristen tells Kendrick, you have a tattoo on your neck. You have no credibility. So now all of a sudden, if you have a tattoo on your neck, you have no credibility. Who knew? Anyway, I believe, and the thing is, I believe, you know, girls have that thing where they think guys won't smack the shit out of them, you know. But I think deep down, they're all really a little scared of Kendrick because he is so hood with it. Like, he's hood. He is hood with it. He is like this little shit. He's a little short shit. He kind of puts me in mind of Mighty Mouse. And then you have Anisha, who is like, for lack of better words, I don't know. She's like the female from the Planet of the Apes. So like the two of them together, ooh, I don't even want to envision him climbing up her big fat motherfucking hairy back and trying to get something from her. Just ridiculous. She's ridiculous. And then, you know, the more I look at it, he's ridiculous, along with the rest of this bullshit. It's just asinine. It's crazy. Anyway, so they're going through all that bullshit. He told her after she said something about the tattoo on his neck, he told her, you got somebody's hair all up in your head, you know? And then I did hear fag number 1, Brandon, say, you know, that's not your argument, Kendrick. That's not your argument. That's all they said to him. Meanwhile, he just got it done arguing with her all together. I think they're all kind of scared of Kendrick, but whatever. I don't see why they're scared of him. I just think, I don't know. He's kind of cute with his little dumb self. But anyway, then we get this Ray Ray girl comes in. Ray Ray is Kendrick's niece. Ghetto. She is completely the opposite of everything. It was really refreshing to see the bitch. Really. I'm like, child, her name is Ray Ray. Somebody done left Ray Ray up in here, honey. Ray Ray came in her little stretch dress and her little cheap shoes, tipped on them, baby. She's just ratchet. She really is. She's ratchet. She on the wrong show. Because Ray Ray belongs on Love and Hip Hop. But real shady. Anisha's very, very shady to her. Undoubtedly, Ray Ray owes Anisha $200 and some odd for getting her out of jail. I told you her ass was ratchet. I don't know. They didn't really go too much into her, but they were just kind of rude. Brandon, I think, is her lawyer, and he was pretty cool to her. There was a lot of side eyes going on, you know what I mean? But that Anisha, I don't know what that's about. She's really way too much. She's just too extra. She fucking goes and hugs him and telling him, something about she can't stand her. Man, that's his niece. And I'm like, and he finally did tell her, that is my niece. Please don't make me have to choose. That's my niece. Ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So anyway, we go past that. They go on to the next thing. There's this party. She's having a dinner party. And Anisha's having a dinner party. And I told you, that house that she lives in, I don't see this money that this bitch claims that she has. I really don't. I haven't seen the money yet. That motherfucking house looks like any project that you could rent. It looks like a project. The bitch got Family Dollar pots and pans in that motherfucker. And why do you have an assistant? Oh, my assistant, this, that, and the other. And then when the baby's dad showed up, did you catch that the fucking assistant called the ex-husband Uncle Mario? So is the assistant really getting paid, or he just wants some camera time? This is just too contrived, and it's a bunch of bullshit, but whatever. Then she got the baby this time. Now, you done already got reamed for feeding the baby Doritos for breakfast, so this time the bitch is feeding the motherfucking baby Swedish fish for lunch. I said, I don't know about this whore. Maybe the girl was right. Maybe you were piss poor. She's sending the boy on out the door. I said, okay. And I'll turn around, I look, and then when he's leaving with the dad, the boy's screaming like bloody murder. So what line are y'all feeding us? How often is he actually with his dad? Because kids that are used to going off back and forth with the mother and the father don't scream like that. And it's just ridiculous. And I'm going to break it down for y'all because I couldn't put my finger on it in the beginning. But by the time I got to the end of the second episode, I'm going to tell you what the issue is. And it ain't all about the BAPs thing or the privilege or any of that. I'm going to tell you what the two things about Kristen and that motherfucking Anisha. The whole thing of using the term BAPs is really pretentious and it's really aggravating. Very aggravating. The way they act is very aggravating. But what is very, very irritating about them, Kristen and Anisha understand each other and they were good friends because these two whores have an issue with their blackness. They do. They have an issue about actually being black. Both of these bitches are the whitest black girls I have ever seen in my life. And the thing is, it's more natural for Kristen, where Kristen basically feels as though, I believe she feels as though she's a white girl trapped in a black girl's body. Whereas Anisha is whiter than the whitest girl I've ever met. Literally. There's some comments that have been made throughout the show that if I would have been within 50-mile radius of these bitches, I would give that bitch with my car, honey, front tire, back tire, front tire, back tire. They are ridiculous, the shit that comes out of their mouth. And it got to a point where I'm watching you guys, but I'm watching and I'm literally embarrassed for them because these whores don't have the good sense that God gave them to be embarrassed. Anyway, moving on. I found that I think I like Gina somewhat. She is whatever. She is who she is. She's pretentious and she's puts on airs and all of that, but she has good sense. She does have good sense. And she obviously has a motherfucking job. She, I don't know. She's okay. I can kind of watch her. I can watch her. I can pay attention to her. Too much of Kristen and Anisha will make me scream. It will really, really make me scream. Who else did we see? Let's see. Gina actually took Ray Ray out And she was like, you know, she's out with Ray Ray, making a conscious effort to actually bring Ray Ray up to, you know, up to a speed where she's presentable. Because she's not a bad looking girl, you know, she just fucking ghetto. And I kind of seen that, and I wasn't really offended by the time that she spent with Gina. Now, I can't even imagine her and Anisha being out together. But Gina was like showing her different ways of eating and telling her, well, you know, come on, don't, you know, you can't be cursing like that in public. And the thing is, you know, there's always that issue with me about cursing. I cuss. That's what I do. But I know when to turn it on and when to turn it off. I mean, when I'm on my YouTube channel, I say whatever the fuck I want to say. However the fuck I choose to say it. But I know how to go out and sit in a dinner setting and talk like I got sense. And not only that, I've actually had 2 television programs on public television. So, of course, you know, I wasn't on there cussing. I know how to conduct myself when I need to conduct myself. Whenever somebody else is ordering my steps and bringing me a paycheck, or there's something for me to gain from talking the way that they want me to talk, then yeah, I'll do that. But until then, when I'm on my YouTube channel and I'm expressing myself, then I'm going to express my motherfucking self as my motherfucking self. And I might say a little motherfucker, you know? As a matter of fact, I probably will say quite a few motherfuckers. And if you don't like it, move on. Anyway, back on topic. Okay, so I felt like Gina was actually not being nasty with her, but she was actually trying to bring her up to, you know, bring her up to a different level and just enlighten her with other things, which that's cool. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with upgrading a person without browbeating them and belittling them. And that's what I got from that whole scene of Gina hanging out with Ray Ray. Kristen and her mom, I seen them. I can't take them. I can't take them. I told you, Kristen's getting on my nerves. Her mother, again, I don't see the money. She looks like she does her own hair. Fuck her. Anyway, moving on. Anisha had this dinner party. Can somebody tell me why your fine china was in boxes and it was just being unwrapped? Whose china was that, honey? Yours or whose? Crickets. Crickets. Yeah. Whose china was that, you so-called rich bitch? Full of shit. Anyway, again, they get to the table and they're fucking talking about Kendrick's niece like he's not sitting there, and he kind of like went off a little bit, and Nisha literally asked him out, like, you know, like, weren't you going back to the shop? She needed smacked in her mouth. She's a mess. I don't know what his thing is with wanting to be with her. Maybe it's a thing of like, she's that chick that I guess, you know, usually them kind of chicks don't really give those guys any play, but that's the thing that he don't know about her. That bitch is a trick. You know, she's a trick, and if you really put her with some real ass BAPs, not this bullshit that she got contrived here on this little show. If you put her with some real motherfuckers that have some real money, that bitch wouldn't fit in with her no dress and fucked up build half herself. But anyway, we go on, we see Jason in his element. You know, he was very quiet in the first episode. That Jason, you know what? I looked at him, he's kind of, Jason's all right as far as like, I don't know, he was kind of quiet, and that's probably good. He don't have any business on this show because I don't know what type of publicity this is going to bring to him, and I think he's basically really on this show just to advertise his business because he obviously has these coffee houses all around St. Louis, and I believe he probably decided to do this show to promote his business, but I hope it doesn't give him the wrong type of promotion and it be very negative because he doesn't fit in. He doesn't feel comfortable with the whole term of BAPs, and he doesn't feel comfortable with all that pretentiousness. He is very normal. Him and Gina, I can deal with. Him and Gina, I can deal with. I would have no problem following them day to day in reality and trying to see what it is that they actually do. I'd have no problem with that. The rest of this cast is kind of, So they showed me something else. But anyway, they were going on to a radio show to actually explain about BAPs, and they had stopped there the day before. And they brought the baby, the little baby. He's cute. That's Anisha's baby. He's cute, but he is not trained worth a fuck. He's running around. The motherfucker wants potato chips as opposed to, like, you want some coffee or some hot chocolate or something. He's like, I want chips. That's, the more he talks, he ain't used to hearing no. He ain't used to, it's whatever you want, just shut the fuck up is what I believe. So, more and more we hear, baby, you do sound kind of piss poor in the parenting thing, and that's probably why you get so motherfucking mad. But, in your defense, who the fuck is Kristen to say that you're a bad mother, because both of you two whores seem to have a lot of motherfucking free time having such small children. I have too, and I don't remember having all that free time when mine were that young like that. So, the two of you ain't fucking knocking me out. Y'all knocking at each other, but I think y'all both are some piss poor fat whores. But anyway, moving on. They go into the interview. Jason had already said that he really wasn't wanting Anisha to be in the interview and talk because she just gets on, she tries to make things all about her, and she's kind of ridiculous. They let her talk, and it was just ridiculous. It was open mouth, insert foot, on the thing. Oh, I don't know anything about an EBT card. That bitch is lying. That bitch is a number 3 or 4. That bitch is getting her stamps and shit on the 3rd or the 4th. I don't believe that this bitch has all this money for one motherfucking minute. I really don't. And let me find out that you a number 3, Miss Anisha, you fucker. I just think she's full of shit, I just can't with her. I really can't. Jason said some things when he was like, you know what? Just be happy being black. I said, see, somebody else is thinking what I'm thinking. That is really her issue. That bitch don't want to be black. And she's on the wrong show. That's a whole different show. The I don't want to be black show, you dumb bitch. Anyway. And then she always trying to, she flip-flops, back and forth. Wants to be something else. You're sitting there talking about, you need to get your hood lingo together when Gina said something about sidebar. And she's like, what is sidebar? No, the term is sideline. And that's when I said, this bitch don't got no job. She don't have a job. That's why she never heard of sidebar. A sidebar is a sidebar conversation. They use that at work. People say that at work when they're doing meetings. We don't want any sidebar conversations. That bitch ain't never had a job. And I don't believe because she has so much money, the bitch just trifling and ain't got no job. Waiting on her motherfucking stamps. And I'm like, she is so ridiculous. And then you're so down. How'd you get so down, bitch? You so privileged and you don't want to be around black people. Then that bitch made that comment about if she got dropped off in the projects, she would turn to her white friend and say, how do we get out of here? That bitch is lying. She's lying. Her husband was from the hood. Her boyfriend's from the hood. You best believe if that fat bitch gets caught down in the motherfucking hood, she is going to take them big period panties off that she be wearing. Because that's why she has, every time you look at that bitch, she got a big fucking line going across 2 inches up from her goddamn navel. That bitch is wearing them big ass motherfucking cotton period bloomers. That bitch is taking them drawers off and getting her box busted open. That's what she'll do if she's down in the projects. Because it looks like every time she down in the projects, she go find her a man. Okay? So you can tell us anything you want, Miss Anisha, bitch. All that bullshit. I don't see your money. I don't see any really rich ways, bitch. I see a stinking whore who is a good piece of yellow going to waste with a bad piece of weave, who's a number 3, getting her stamps on the 3rd, lying about being something else, who don't want to be black, wants to be white, but wants to be filled with black dick as much as possible. That's what I see. That's Anisha. Period. Period. That's what I see. Now, back to that Jason. She made a comment. She told Jason to say hello to his kids and whoever the woman was. So I'm thinking he must be either married or dating and has children. I'm gonna have to see some more of you, Jason, because I think he would make a good husband. I'm thinking he would make a good husband for a man or a woman. Because I ain't excused him just yet, because I still think, I could be wrong, but for some reason I think he's Brandon's little piece. I really do. Even just their body chemistry, and when I looked around that room and see if you all caught this tea. Then they're in the room at the party at the beginning of this and the last episode. They're all sitting around. Jason's sitting in the chair, being unbothered and unscathed by the motherfucking coonery that was going on. And Miss Brandon's sitting on the edge of the chair. Just like she was sitting at a party with her boyfriend. Whatever, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll come back later and I'll apologize. For some reason, I don't think I'll be owing anybody that apology. But anyway, yeah, I think that Jason, he could grow on me. That Jason, you might turn out being kind of cute. I think you would make a good boyfriend or a good husband for somebody. Some man or woman or both. You know how that goes. Anyway, so then we get these two whores together, that Kristen and that motherfucking Anisha. They're going to get together. They had dinner. They were both stupid. I'm not going to spend as much time as they spent on it. Those whores were stupid, sitting in there, arguing, bickering back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that Kristen's going back for you owe me an apology. You owe me an apology. You owe my whole family apology. I want a written apology. Girl, bye, Felicia. That was ridiculous. And now Anisha basically told her, right, girl, fuck you, Annie. I'm done with this shit. She gave her, bitch, I bid you adieu, whore. And she got up and she walked out. Now, that was fierce. That she got up, paid the check, and walked out. That was the first motherfucking classy thing the bitch ever did. But you knew I wasn't going to let her get away that easy. That bitch went out that door. The first mistake was, here she go again with another ugly motherfucking chinchilla. I didn't know what kind of coat that was. What is that, kitty cat fur? I didn't get it. Ugly fucking fur coat. She got this ugly little fur coat on, and she's going on down the street, and I'm looking at her, this bitch is tipping her ass off. Her fat ass is just as uncoordinated, and them feet was hurting her, you hear me? Tipping with them fat ass knees, trying to get down to the car. I said, how the fuck you gonna make a motherfucking exit tipping? You supposed to, bitch, when you hit it, when you let a bitch have it, and you walk out, you supposed to be strutting Miss Lizzie. That bitch was tipped. I said, girl, she looked ridiculous. But anyway, they're dumb. Dumb. Again, that was the end of the second episode. Whew. This is going to be something. I don't know. So, we'll see what happens. And again, I think I'm liking that Gina. She do have the most sense. She talks with sense. She's very mature. Pretentious, nonetheless, but very mature. So I can deal with her and little Jason. I think I'm okay with those two characters so far. All right, guys, we're going to keep on seeing what's going on with this. Let's see what happens. Whether we'll figure it out or whether this motherfucker will go off the air. Let's see what happens first. You can thumb up or thumb down the video, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Thanks. Bye.